Album ritratti, lura fiż-żmien.
Lura fiż-żmien,
Pajjiżna tieħor milli nafjien. Titħabbeb miegħu bla ma trid u kemm nixtieq inqara l-ftit li jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid. Li jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid.
Nilgħakom mat-tielet u l-aħħar parti tal-programm tagħna tal-lum. Programm dwar ir-Reġina Elisabetta it-tieni u pajjiżna Malta. Serin naraw issa li r-Reġina dak iż-żmien prinċipessa ġewwa il-Marsa għat-tiġrijiet ta' żwiemel biex tara li l-kuġinità tirbaħ it-tellieqa. Eżatt warajh naraw ukoll il-prinċipessa iżżur dak li kien imsejja bħala United States of America f'Malta, il-flotta Amerikana.
At Malta's Racing Club, Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip make their first public appearance together in George Cross Island. The occasion is the club's annual Gymkhana. Among the competitors are the Princess's cousin, Lady Pamela Mountbatten, number 1, and her lady-in-waiting, Lady Alice Edgerton, number 2. And the winner of the big race, way ahead of the field, is Lady Pamela. And there to cheer her home is her father, Lord Louis, taking time off from his naval duties to celebrate a Mountbatten triumph that calls for smiles and congratulations all round.
Li jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid.
Princess Elizabeth meets the Navy. The ships of the Mediterranean Fleet at anchor in Valletta salute the royal launch as it takes the Princess and Prince Philip to the American cruiser Des Moines, the flagship of the 6th United States Task Fleet. Earlier in the day, the Princess had visited ships of the Royal Indian Navy, while the Duke was on duty in HMS Chequers. Now, Prince Philip is there to share the Princess's interest in the American cruiser's prized possession, a helicopter, the modern equivalent of an admiral's barge. The Princess's personal standard is hauled in from the mainmast as the royal visit to Malta's Little America comes to an end. On the previous evening, officers from the American ship attended a gala ball. The hosts are the Saddle Club, the guests of honor, the Princess and the Duke. In the same dance with the Princess is her cousin, Lady Pamela Mountbatten. An evening of gaiety Valletta will long remember.
Jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid.
Serin naraw issa ir-Reġina f'Malta. Ir-Reġina fiż-żjara tagħha tal-1954.
15 ships of the Royal Navy carve their separate flight paths across the blue waters of the Mediterranean as at 25 knots they steam in escort to the royal yacht Britannia, their destination Malta. This is the first voyage Her Majesty has made in the yacht. With her husband and her children, she watches the ships fire a royal salute of 21 guns. Britannia's gleaming blue hull reflects her bow wave as she plows through the heavy swell towards the island. It was in this same area during the war that the Navy escorted convoys of merchant ships as they ran the gauntlet of U-boat and dive bomber to take supplies to Malta. Prince Charles, in a sailor suit, sees a sight to thrill any 5-year-old as the escorting cruisers, destroyers and frigates perform intricate high-speed maneuvers. Meanwhile, Malta prepares for the royal visit, during which the Queen will unveil a memorial to the Air Force dead. 540 relatives of the fallen have come from Britain. The liner Mediterranean brought 350 of them. The rest came by air. The journey was planned by the Royal Air Forces Association, which assisted many who were unable to afford the pilgrimage. This is the memorial. It overlooks Valletta Harbour, which Britannia now enters, bringing the Queen to the island for the first time during her reign. It was in 1942 that the late King awarded the George Cross to Malta for its heroism and devotion during a stage in the war when they suffered constant air attack and were reduced almost to starvation. The royal launch crosses the harbour, the goal of so many ill-fated convoys, and Her Majesty and the Duke prepare to step ashore. There to welcome them are the Governor, Sir Gerald Creasy, and Lady Creasy. At Floriana, the site of the war memorial, relatives of the dead are gathered. The Queen arrives there soon after she has landed, and among those who welcome her is General Lord Freyberg, VC, representing New Zealand. Her Majesty's first duty is to inspect the Guard of Honour of RAF personnel. The Queen walks to the dais, where she presses a lever to unveil the plaques at the base of the 50-foot-high marble column. The wreath Her Majesty lays is of pink carnations. Upon the plaques are recorded the names of 2,301 officers and men of the Commonwealth who died that the people they defended might live. The Queen has paid her tribute, and now it is the turn of the mothers, the wives, the families they left behind them when in hurricanes and Spitfires they flew to glory in the skies above the Mediterranean. The following day comes another big moment for Malta as the royal children are brought ashore by barge. This is the first time they have set foot in another country. Both Prince Charles and Princess Anne are dressed in bright yellow coats. The governess, Miss Peebles, and Nurse Helen Lightbody are there to keep an eye on the children. Meanwhile, at Floriana Parade Ground, thousands attend a combined services parade of 1,500 troops at which the Queen is present. A shaggy dog, almost a tradition of all royal occasions, makes its own tour of inspection. From a hotel balcony overlooking the square, the royal children watch the ceremony and the dog with much excitement. Now the entire parade marches past Her Majesty. The parade comes to an end, and once more the royal car moves across the parade ground. With true Elizabethan grace and courtesy, Prince Charles helps his sister from the hotel to their car. It's been a thrilling day for them both. In Valletta, two ships are at anchor. Gothic, whose journey is now done, and Britannia, which will bring the Queen home from her royal tour of the Commonwealth.
ليرجع ذاك الزمن من جديد.
Fl-ewwel u fit-tieni parti tal-programm tagħna tal-lum Lura Fiz-Zmien urejnikom il-filmat ta' żjara ta' Reġina, żjara irjali tal-1967. Ħanaraw verżjoni oħra qasira din id-darba ta' Patha News. Ħanaraw din is-silta Black and White.
Malta, the island in the sun put on its sunniest face to welcome its Queen. And what an affectionate welcome it was. Her Majesty, accompanied by the Duke of Edinburgh, was making her first state visit to the island since Malta attained independence a little over 3 years ago. Prime Minister Dr. Borg Olivier presented his address of welcome to Her Majesty at the palace in Valletta. Then it was on to a sumptuous banquet. The Queen was accompanied by the Governor-General, Sir Maurice Dorman. It was very obvious the immense warmth the islanders had for the Queen, and the banquet, held in the armory of Valletta Palace, was a sparkling, happy occasion. The following day was the high point of Her Majesty's visit to Malta. In the throne room of the Maltese Parliament, the Queen exercised her constitutional right and set the wheels of Maltese government in motion. In her speech from the throne, the Queen said the Maltese government would do everything it could to cushion the impact of the rundown of British forces in Malta. Retraining and alternative employment would be provided for those affected. It was in the happiest of moods that the people of Malta greeted their Queen as she left the Parliament building. It has been 13 years since Her Majesty was last in Malta. Now she had returned bringing good news. A happy day for the island. Now it was the turn of Malta's youth to show how very much the Queen meant to them. 22,000 youngsters gathered in Independence Square. On their behalf, presents were handed to Her Majesty for her family. The youth of Malta showed their enthusiasm in no uncertain way. The Queen and her husband had given assurance of a sound future for the younger generation in their homeland. Their tomorrows were secure, and the faith of her Maltese subjects was even more loyal to the crown. It was a great personal triumph for Her Majesty. Before she left the youth rally, the Queen told the children to work together when they grew up and to keep Malta a lovely and happy place.
ليرجع ذاك الزمن من جديد.
Wasanna għall-aħħar parti tal-programm tagħna tal-lum. Villa Guardamangia. Kienet bosta drabi fuq l-aħbarijiet. Ħannaraw daqsxejn din il-Villa Guardamangia meta kienu jgħixu fiha il-Prinċipessa Elisabetta u id-Duka, il-Prinċep Filip. Ħaniltaqgħu wkoll u nisimgħu intervista qasira li saret lil Frank Attard minn ITV News. U ħanaraw u nisimgħu lil Frank jgħid illi hu kellu jmur il-villa biex jiġbed ir-ritratt uffiċjali tal-prinċipessa. Fl-ħanet naraw ukoll silta mill-aħħar żjara ta' Reġina f'Malta, silta ta' Prog 2017.
dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid.
You put your name on top.
And what newspaper did you work for?
I was a photographer with the Times of Malta, an English daily paper that we never stopped a single issue, not even during the war. We got a record.
It was a record.
And I remember even the Queen, she came to our office to watch the Good Friday procession in Malta. I was the only photographer that I photographed the Queen many times in here. Prince Charles and Princess and the Queen Mother, all of them.
And what was your name again, sir?
I'm Frank Attard.
Thank you very much.
At the Villa Guardiamanja, the princess joined the Duke.
Today, Villa Guardiamanja in the Maltese capital Valletta is locked and shuttered. But in 1949, it was where the Queen spent perhaps the happiest days of her life.
The hosts are the Saddle Club, the guests of honour, the Princess and the Duke.
She was 23, he was 28, a Navy officer based in Malta. Their son Charles was 1 and left behind in Britain. They were the life and soul of the party.
An evening of gaiety Valletta will long remember.
She had her happiest days in Malta those days. She was very young, going dancing in the evening, eat outside, go out.
Frank Attard, now 87, was a young Maltese photographer back then. He watched Princess Elizabeth dance and he went to her villa to take this picture on her 24th birthday.
She lives in a fairly normal life. People go and watch her coming out of her villa. And I think those days were those happy days for them, I think, especially when Prince Philip was in the Navy here.
Since those early days here in Malta, the Queen has become the world's most travelled head of state. But there is now a growing sense that when she visits a foreign country, it is to say goodbye. It's probably going to be her last visit to Malta, isn't it?
Because you couldn't say. Maybe she comes next week again.
You think she might?
Together again in Malta.
And the message from both sides, thanks for the memories. Tim Ewart, ITV News, Malta.
dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid.
This is Villa Guardiamanja near the capital Valletta. The Queen lived here for almost 2 years in 1949. She was then a 23-year-old princess and was able to move about with a degree of freedom that was never to be repeated.
li jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid. Li jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid.
Filmati tant sbieħ, filmati tant memorabli, filmati li għal-bosta minnkom żgur niżlu nostalġija. Il-programm tal-lum nixtieq partikolarment nirringrazzja għal-filmat ta' żjara ta' Reġina l-Dipartiment tal-Informazzjoni. Nixtieq ukoll nirringrazzja lill-Pata News illi rajna ammont ta' filmati tagħhom ukoll. Però fuq kollox nixtieq nirringrazzja lilkom illi kontu magħna u għal darba oħra rġajtu l-qajtuna fidjarkom għal programm Lura Fiz-Zmien. Min hawnhekk ma baqali xejn ħlief illi fisem il-co-producer tiegħi u fismi, fisem Margaret, Dana Paul, illi salmilkom u jtikom l-appuntament tagħna għal bħallum ġimgħa. Saħħa.
Album ritratti lura fiż-żmien. Lura fiż-żmien. Pajjiż motiħor milli nafjien. Milli nafjien. Titħabbeb miegħu bla ma trid u kemm nixtieq ara l-ftit li jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid. Album ritratti lura fiż-żmien. Lura fiż-żmien. Pajjiż motiħor milli nafjien. Titħabbeb miegħu bla ma trid u kemm nixtieq ara l-ftit li jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid. Li jerġa' dak iż-żmien mill-ġdid.